You know what really grinds my gears? Really bad games. Now, even when I play a bootleg game or a fan game, I give it the benefit of the doubt. But today, I saw something that I thought looked really cool. And it sucked. It really f***ing sucked. And that is Super Mario Bros. 4, A Space Odyssey for the Sega Genesis. Or, you know what, I guess more accurately the Sega Mega Drive, since this is a Russian bootleg. But regardless, let's get on to it and see what makes this game so rancid in today's episode. Welcome to Stuff We Play, your source for everything weird, adventurous, and retro. If that sounds cool to you, why not subscribe? Now, in today's video, I'm pissed. I'm pissed because of this game. Mario 4, A Space Odyssey. A name that sounds so cool. I mean, there's never been a proper Super Mario Bros. Platformer since, you know, the good old days on the NES and SNES. In space, there's never been a Mario game in space before. So come on, let's dive on in. Let's see. Who knows? Maybe since I'm having to play through it again for this review, I'll feel a bit better about this game. So you boot it up and you get a story. What's going on in the story? I don't know. I can't speak Russian. So we get to the title screen, which is Mario 4. That. Which, by the way, if you're wondering about that art, that's stolen from the soundtrack to Super Mario Galaxy. Now, before we get into this, let's talk about the title. Super Mario 4, Space Odyssey. Now, I'm a bit of a fan of the film 2001, A Space Odyssey. Well, on first thought, I was like, wow, I get to have Mario versus HAL 9000, and then a really trippy end scene and stuff. But that, unfortunately, is not the case here. Instead, you have what, at first glance, looks like a pretty standard Mario game. So you know how Mario collects mushrooms to get bigger, and if he collects a fire flower, well, he can shoot, well, fire? And this one, Mario doesn't change size. Furthermore, yeah, I mean, actually fire flowers still work, though he doesn't change color. What really makes this game off-putting, though, is the control. It seems to be random whether you make a short jump or a long jump, making platforming in this platformer, well, impossible. However, I did notice that if you jump while running, you kind of do a mid-jump, and that's always consistent, but it's very awkward, and I never quite got used to it. Furthermore, Mario's momentum feels like he's on ice. It's just weird. The stage design is awful. Holy crap, is this design awful. It feels like someone's very first Mario Maker level. You know, the one you make on your first try, and then because you can't beat it, you don't actually put it online. I kept playing this game for a couple hours. That's kind of my creed with these things. Either I'll play a game to completion or for a few hours until I get sick of it. And with this one, well, the level never seemed to end. Granted, I died a bunch, but you know. And what caused me to die a bunch? Well, the aforementioned control issues, and also the fact that hit detection in this game is crap. A lot of times you will jump on an enemy and you will die. There are a few other odd things of note about this game that I feel that are worth mentioning. First off, there is a shop that is accessible that you can spend your coins on. Coins don't go towards an extra life. No, they just go towards being used in the shop. Unfortunately, there's no translation of the shop, and by that I mean I still can't understand Russian, and whenever I try to buy something, the game crashes. Strangely enough, there's no heads-up display. In order to view your coins or your lives, you have to pause the game. It's particularly shocking when you see how much detail is given to the graphics of the rest of the game. Not the gameplay or stage design, but, you know, to the graphics, credit where credit's due. Second off, the game does lag on occasion, mainly just in this fiery area, but when it happens here, it is very noticeable. And third and finally, don't get a game over. I mean, you will, the game is extremely hard and unforgiving, but if you do, you'll be greeted with this picture. Because that's just what the kids want to see. Is there anything good that can be said about this immense burning garbage heap, though? Yeah, actually. The music, for the most part. What's really off-putting is that every area doesn't have its own theme. No, every time you die or start a level, you get a randomly selected piece from a set of music in the game, meaning that each area doesn't have its own corresponding piece. It's very weird and off-putting, and surprisingly enough, all the music that's from Mario games here is hot garbage. It's terrible. However, the music that's original here, that I'm sure is stolen from somewhere else, that stuff is actually pretty good. I'll be honest. Credit where credit's due. Should you play Super Mario 4, A Space Odyssey? No. Should you look up its soundtrack on YouTube? Sure. But overall, this game sucks and you should not play it. It is certainly not worth your time. I for sure wouldn't call it the worst bootleg of all time. The title of worst bootleg game of all time still goes to Pokemon Adventure for the Game Boy Color. What do you think is the worst Mario game of all time? Even if it's a bootleg, leave it down in the comments below. And while you're at it, why don't you subscribe to Stuff We Play for more great content like this. So with that, thank you very much for watching. Stay classy. I'll see you next time. And now if you excuse me, I'm gonna go get some shots. Hey,